Hi, boys and girls. It's Mrs. Gaynor. We are getting ready for our writing lesson in our digital writing journal. Today's focus is going to be on adverbs. Now, we've had some nearby lessons this week focus on our language skill, but I'm here today to show you how we can incorporate adverbs into our writing. Remember, an adverb is a word that describes a verb, an adjective, or another adverb. It tells how often, when, and where. So an adverb answers the questions how, like easily, happily, quietly, quickly, silently, or how often, always, every day, often, once, never. When, answer the questions when. So yesterday, today, soon, before, after, and then the question where, anywhere, everywhere, home, inside, outside, there. Now, many of these words you know and you frequently use in your sentences already. Today, we're making sure to highlight those adverbs that we use in our sentences and to plug in the correct spot. So, writers, let's get ready to dive into our digital writing journal experience, focusing on adverbs. So here again, I have our review, and it's just to get some ideas of words in which we can use in our writing. So, like I said before, adverbs modify verbs, adjectives, and adverbs. So I like to look at some of these sentences before I begin my writing so that I have an idea of how I can use them in my own sentences. So it says, I will call you tomorrow. So when am I going to call you? Tomorrow. Where? We played outside. Where did we play? Outside. So they're modifying the verb. In what way? He selfishly refused to share his toy. And then to what extent? She frequently asks her parents for money. Now we also know that adverbs modify adjectives. So to what extent? Emma is extremely tall. So tall is the adjective and extremely is telling to what extent. And then we have adverbs can also modify other adverbs. So to what extent? She washed the glass dishes very carefully. So remember, are all words that end in ly adverbs? No. Okay. But we have the words, they help us to modify verbs, adjectives, and other adverbs. So now let's take a look at our question prompt for today. It says, if I had $1,000, what would you buy and why? So today what I'm going to do is I'm going to model for you what my response would be to this prompt and to include some adverbs in my sentences. So I'm going to double click on the box here and I'm going to use part of the question in my answer. So I'm going to use that sentence stem to start off my sentence. If I had $1,000, I would want to spend it. How? I would want to spend it slowly. Okay, so slowly is one of the adverbs that I just used to describe my verb of spend. How would I spend it? I would want to spend it slowly. So I don't want to spend this fast because then I'm not going to have the money for a very long time. So I'm thinking, trying to be conscious of my money. So I'm just zoomed in so you can see my sentence a little bit better. Okay, so let me add another detail. I would spend the money, ooh, I forgot the space there, the money very carefully. So here's my other adjective, okay? My other adverb. I would want to spend the money very carefully. So how do I want to spend it? Very carefully. I don't want to just go out to the store and spend it all at once. So instead of buying one expensive item, I would buy cheaper items so that I could get more for my money. If I had forgot to add that comma, $1,000, I would selfishly buy all the things that I wanted for myself. So that means I'm not going to share with this $1,000 with my husband, with my dog, or my friends or family. I'd want to keep this all to myself. All right. So this is now, I'm going to describe some of the things that I buy. I would buy a new bike, the newest iPhone, magazines, because I love to look through them, get ideas to do things around the house, books, and flowers to plant in my garden. Now I noticed up here that I spelt selfishly wrong, so I'm going to go up, and it's underlined in red, and I'm going to, it fixed it already for me. So if you hovered over it, it would have given you the correct spelling of the word. I'm just going to make this a little smaller so now it all fits on the page. I just want to add another sentence or two. These items would last me a long time. And then I'm going to use the adverb to tell where I would do and how I would use them. I would plant my flowers outside in my garden. Okay. So like before, I'm going to hover over the word, double tap with my 2 fingers, and hit the word plant. I would get to enjoy the flowers all summer long. All right, so here are some of the sentences that I have created using some adverbs. So now remember, we want you to incorporate adjectives, adverbs, descriptive nouns in your writing so that it enhances your sentences. Now, it may be hard to include an adverb in every sentence, but we want you to try and incorporate it a little bit at a time. So now I'm going to just read through my writing one more time to see if I answered the prompt. And maybe I might need to add 1 or 2 more things. Let's see. If I had $1,000, I would want to spend it slowly. I would spend the money very carefully. Instead of buying one expensive item, I would buy cheaper items so that I could get more for my money. If I had $1,000, I would selfishly buy all the things that I wanted for myself. I would buy a new bike, the newest iPhone, magazines, books, and flowers to plant in my garden. These items would last me a long time. I would plant my flowers outside in my garden. I would get to enjoy the flowers all summer long. Now, I can also add another statement. I would want to buy all of these items because it would help me with everyday things, especially having a new phone. I would feel very lucky to have that much money to buy all of those new things for myself. So I think that was a great way of incorporating some adverbs into my digital writing journal here. So boys and girls, remember, think about the different focuses that we're giving you each week. We want you to make sure that you're trying your best to incorporate different language skills into your writing each week. Now remember, I thought about some of the sentences before I was writing this out. You should think about your ideas before you begin typing or writing, and it will definitely be helpful for you. I hope you found this lesson helpful, and I can't wait to see some of the ideas that you would do or what you would write down if you had $1,000. Okay, boys and girls, awesome job. Keep up the hard work. I can't wait to see what you record in your digital writing journal this week.